What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be doing another Killstreak breakdown, this time taking a look at a 50 kill streak with Luke on Endor. Now, it has been probably a couple of months since I've done a breakdown on the channel. I did take a break from the game a while back, and ever since then I've kind of been trying to play catch up on some of the footage, so it has been a while, but I'm glad to be back with another one, and hopefully I can make them much more regular from here on out. Now, before we get into it, if you guys do have any characters that you would like me to try and focus on for the next Killstreak breakdown, then definitely let me know down in the comments, and I will do my best to try and get this series back up and running. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, we are going to go ahead and get stuck right into it. So, starting off, this was actually a half-empty lobby, so it is a bit of a strange kill streak in that a lot of the time I was actually running around looking for people. You'll probably notice throughout that there was a lot of times where there was literally just no one to be seen, so in a way, it makes the kill streak not as good because there's not as many people, chasing you around, but at the same time, there's also less people to kill, so take that how you will, but I thought I'd mention that just because you're probably wondering why a lot of the times there's sort of some quiet little moments throughout the game. Now, in this streak, and pretty much every time I use Luke in Galactic Assault, the cards that I run are the new Intensify card, which is the one that pretty much just ups his damage output every time you get a kill. And then I usually use the Extended Push Reach and the Extra Dash attack as well. So those are the three cards that I would recommend. Again, it does come down to your own playstyle, but at least for me, that's pretty much what I use 100% of the time. With that Intensify card, once you get a 10 kill streak, you'll actually pretty much one-hit kill all the regular troopers. So that is the main reason that this card is really useful. And then once you get to 25, I think it actually deals 200 damage from behind per hit. So with that, you can pretty much like 3-hit kill boss from behind and stuff like that. So it's definitely a very beastly card. It's probably borderline overpowered, honestly, but it is definitely a good card to use. Now here, I was obviously in a little scuffle with Maul there. I noticed that this objective wasn't quite done yet. I actually thought the teammates had got it, but they hadn't. So I decided to ditch Maul and try and get in here and help clear out the rooms so my teammates could get in. That's a big thing for me. Is I always try to help with the objectives when I can. I'm not the type of person that's literally always on the objectives. You do try and run around and get some kills because we are playing for fun, but at the same time, you're not going to get a kill streak if the game ends in the first phase. So here I was obviously trying to help clear out the room. Anakin came in here as well, so we were pretty much sorted from here on out. And so now it was time to try and go back to just pretty much stopping the flow of enemies coming into that room. If I can hold them off here, then you're obviously going to capture the objective. Now, this guy, he put a trip mine down and then he was hiding. I really wanted to kill him, but the trip mine would have just dealt so much damage there. So what I tried to do instead was, I knew that he was going to have to fall back because obviously we just capped the objective right there. So instead of trying to, take him on front on, I thought I'd try and get behind him, and as you can see, he just runs straight out the door, and he wasn't going to be expecting that, and either way, even if he was expecting it, there's not much he can really do. So now we have got that 10 kill streak, which is what you need to get the one-hit kill activated by that card. And so now Luke does become a little bit more deadly. It doesn't seem like a huge difference changing from 2 hits to 1 hit, but it definitely does make a nice little difference. Now, like I said, the lobby was half empty. As you can see, I just ran straight up here. Usually this is full of enemies, so I did get pretty lucky that this was half empty. And yeah, it allowed me to push up a lot easier than normal. Now here you can see Palpatine. I'm usually one to not chase heroes, but you're going to see here I was hunting this dude down. Currently he's actually broken where you can't block his attacks. And because Anakin was there too, I actually felt confident enough that I could just try and get rid of him because I knew he'd come back to haunt me. Like I said, usually I'm not the one to be chasing heroes around unless it is Palpatine in general. I just don't like Palpatine players anyway, but because he was broken, I thought it's best to try and get rid of him now rather than him cause me issues later. And so now that he is gone, it's obviously a bit more relaxed and less stress having Palpatine running around with an unblockable attack. So we are at about 15 kills at this point, I think. I've still got full health as well, so I was feeling pretty happy so far. And going up to the treetops here, this is actually probably one of the best spots on this whole map to just get some easy kills because generally there's just a bunch of snipers up here and they're not really paying attention. So if you are looking for some free kills, then this is definitely a good place to go. So, like I said, at this point I was feeling pretty confident. I think I was nearly at about 20 kills, and I was just hoping that I wasn't going to mess anything up, and straight away, you can see there, I just ran straight at this dude, and then there was another guy there, and bang, I'm down to 57 health out of nowhere. I was full health, and now I'm down to 57. This is the main issue that I have with kill streaks. I tend to hit that sort of 20 mark, and I get a little bit too cocky and just think, oh, this is going to be easy, and I always make mistakes like that. So if we just go all the way back there to where I lost most of that health, I wanted to just sort of show what I did wrong there. you can see here that I killed that first guy, and then I should have just held the block here. The guy was there, and I think I thought that that force push was still available, so I kind of just ran at him. That is never what you want to do. Never run at someone head on without your block, because you're just going to get melted, and even if you survive, like I did, it's obviously going to affect your kill streak a lot. So now from here on out, I knew that I had to sort of pull it back really safely. I was pretty frustrated with myself because I've been trying to get this kill streak for so long. I'd been playing literally all day, and I was feeling really good, and then that happened. So that's kind of why I wanted to show this one. I wanted to show that you can get down, you know, I was at 57 health. I wanted to show that you can get back, but I also wanted to just explain what I did wrong there, because yeah, I do that way too often. I would honestly say that probably 60% of my kill streak attempts are just deaths from similar things to that, where it's a simple little thing, just hold the block, you're not going to take any damage. But yeah, that was the main reason I wanted to sort of show this kill streak, was because I did get down to 57 and I still went on to get a 50, so it's not the end of the world. But from here there is a lot of work to sort of get that health back, because if you stay low on health, you are just going to die at some point. So I'm just going to fast forward probably, I think it's about 50 seconds here. This was me pretty much just looking around for enemies. Like I said, the lobby was half empty, so it was pretty hard to find enemies. But at the end of the day, the goal here was pretty much just to play a little stealthier and try and get behind the enemy so I can get some free kills. Now, you're going to notice that I'm running around pretty much with my saber off the whole time. As soon as I get a kill, you see I turn it off again. This is super important, especially if you are low on health. If you don't know how to turn it off, I think it's square on PlayStation and it would be X on Xbox. Yeah, like I said, really important. If you have it on, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. So definitely always have it turned off unless you are obviously in a fight. Now, you can see right there, got behind a few enemies and picked up a few easy kills. That is pretty much the main goal from here on out, is just to try and get to maybe, I don't know, 500 HP was sort of my goal. So you got to play a lot slower and sort of pick your moments. Again, you can see jumping down when that guy doesn't know I'm there. Here, I could have tried to go against Kylo, but I just didn't think it was worth it. If I had killed him, obviously that's a nice little, you know, nice bit of health to get back, but it's just probably not worth it in that situation. If you feel confident enough, then definitely go for it. But after I'd had a bit of a rough run, I was definitely a little bit wary about that. I'd rather take my chances with the regular troopers. So you can see that I am slowly getting the health back. We're at about pretty much half health right now, and like I said earlier, the goal for me was probably about 500 HP. That's where you can kind of feel a little bit safer. But until you do get to that point, there is literally no point in trying to play the same way that you would with full health, because you will just die. It's inevitable that if you play too aggressive with low health, you are going to die. Now you can see there, an ATST shot at me. All you got to do in that situation is just run. There is literally nothing you can do to stop ATSTs. They're extremely overpowered. So you can't attack them, you can't defend their shots, so you just have to run. And you're going to see in a second that I switch sides of the map. I'm going for Kylo here. I actually nearly get him. And don't ask me what happens. He just died. I think he might have respawned, because you can see it just says Kylo is defeated and the guy just says is no more. So I'm not too sure what happened there. But that is another problem that I have. I got too sucked into that hero fight, and now there's two ATSTs that are, I wouldn't say chasing me, but they're nearby and they know that I'm nearby. So that's another thing that I need to touch on, is just try not to get too sucked into the heroes. You could see there that it nearly cost me because the ATST was right in front of him. Now, right here you will see this kill that I get is how you do want to try and get kills. You can see I was hiding, and then as soon as he presented himself, I just used the force push. That in contrast with what I'm about to do, it's a pretty glaring issue that you can see with my gameplay. I did the right thing there, and then right now I'm playing too aggressively. Again, it just keeps sort of, I keep playing this way. I picked him off the way that you should, and then you can see now I'm playing way too aggressive. Luckily it paid off, nothing really happened, but again, ATST behind me, there's one in front of me, Grievous was there, and there's a Death Trooper, so you can see what I'm talking about. I know that I'm making these mistakes, but I do them in game all the time. I'm sure a lot of you are the same. Everyone knows what they're doing wrong, and then we still do it. So if you are the same, then definitely you're not the only one. I do this literally every kill streak. There's always some mistake that I make, but at least you can see from this that mistakes aren't the end of the world. As long as you can sort of correct them and try and make them, not as regular, then you can still definitely come back from them. Now, you're going to see here, this is what I was talking about again earlier with the the lack of players in the lobby. Right here, I just honestly didn't know what to do. There was no one that I could see. And the mistake that I would usually make in this situation is, again, just trying to play too aggressively. No one wants to have sort of a dull patch in the middle of their kill streak, so generally if I'm struggling to get kills in the middle, I tend to play a little too aggressive. But you can see here I'm taking cover and then I'm dodging to the other side of the cover. I'm not going to take chances like I did earlier. That little bit where we went back and, you know, I showed the part of me just sprinting at the guy. I was trying not to make that same mistake. So at least I did finally learn from my mistakes earlier. Now, there was no enemies around here, so I decided I wanted to try and change sides of the map. There was also that ATST as well, so I wanted to get to the other side here. Again, snipers are just the easiest kills. They're not going to pay attention. They're all just looking down the scope. So the best thing you can do if you're trying to get your health back is just getting behind enemies, and especially with snipers, they're not going to be able to turn around and do anything. So that is what you want to be doing, like I said earlier. I'm nearly at 500 HP here. Now, I switched sides of the map again. You can see the ATST there. It was turning sort of facing the other way, and I didn't see it turn around. So here you can see now it's looking at me, and luckily I got out of there. But that is something you need to pay attention. If you see an ATST, you need to keep an eye on it. Now, here I saw Grievous. I really wanted to get some health back. Don't ask me what this dude was doing. He didn't even block. I think he actually jumped there and it meant that he couldn't block. I'm honestly not too sure. But that was a free 100 HP pretty much. And then now the ATST, again, I've kind of got into a dangerous position, but it actually worked out. I've pretty much picked up another 3 kills there, so that's 60 more HP. And now, because that ATST was there, I'm just trying to get to the other side of the map again. Now, you can see that there's another ATST on this side. I didn't think he could see me, and it turns out he kind of can. Again, this is a bit of an iffy situation where I was probably not in the position to be playing this way. It did kind of pan out until here. I went for this kill and I shouldn't have, because now you can see the ATST found me, and bang, I'm back down to 230 HP. So again, I'm making these same mistakes over and over. That is exactly why I wanted to show this kill streak. It's really not the best kill streak in terms of being clinical, you know what I mean? I made a lot of mistakes, but that's exactly why I wanted to show it, because luckily I still managed to get a 50. And so I wanted to just show that you can make mistakes and still get away with it, but you do have to, at some point we're going to have to learn from these mistakes. So I'm at 450 HP heading inside here. Usually this is really hard to get into. I'm sure you all know that, you know, there's 4 entries into this room, and generally there's like 5 or even more people blocking each entry. Like I said though, the lobby was empty, and I didn't think that there would be anyone blocking this entrance, which luckily I was right. There's just not enough people that they could get up here quick enough, so I was lucky to get in here fairly easily. This does not happen every game. You all know what I mean. It's sometimes it's actually impossible to get into this room, but I did get pretty lucky, and once I got in, I did want to make the most of it. You can see I was going pretty hard after Bosk here. I got lucky again with Kylo. He kind of got distracted by Yoda, I think it was there. And so you can see I'm playing pretty risky. I do have 500 HP, and just because it was nearly the end of the game, at this point I'm kind of, I'm more, you know, I'm willing to make a sacrifice if we can try and win the game. I'm less worried about the streak right now. I've already got 46, so I was sort of happy enough with that. And you'll see now that I start playing a little bit more aggressively. Again, I see Bosk. I'm going hard after him. He nearly got me, but I think Yoda buffed me there, and so I keep getting kind of lucky here. And my good friend Vic was actually playing as Ray as well, and he had inside active a lot of the time, as you can see. So that does help out a lot too. You can see on the minimap that I could tell there was a hero coming, and that is something that pays a lot. You can see there, that's free HP to get back there. You always need to pay attention to the minimap, even when insight's active. And yeah, now you can see we pretty much won here. I think this is the last little kill here, and we do come home with the win. So you can see that that was a kind of a struggle of a kill streak. There was a lot of mistakes throughout it, and you could tell that I was, you know, I was kind of around that like 300 to 400 HP mark the whole time. Like I said, it was not the best kill streak. It was a pretty rough one, but I just mainly wanted to show it to show that those sort of mistakes can still lead you to doing well if you can learn to adapt to them really quickly. And so hopefully for any of you guys that are kind of in that same boat where you make a lot of mistakes and you know that you're making the mistakes but you still do them, hopefully that just goes to show you guys that if you do try and sort of learn from those mistakes and just, you know, adapt mid-game, you can still do well even if you do get really low. Like I said, I was at 57 HP at one point there, and I remember at the time thinking, oh, this kill streak's done. There's a 0% chance I'm going to get above like a 30, but It goes to show that if you do try and adapt and try and, you know, slow yourself down a little bit, you can still pull it back from there. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one, guys. If you did enjoy this one, then make sure to leave a like down below to help support the channel. Not only does it help the channel, but it does also show me that you guys do want to see more of these Killstreak breakdowns in the future. Like I said, if you do have any characters that you would like to see in one of these breakdowns, then let me know down in the comments section. If you are new to the channel, then feel free to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 videos or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
I will never join the dark side. I'm a Jedi.